Welcome back to another video. Now this one's just a simple one of how to tack up your horse. But first I thought we'd do an update of the bridle. So you saw in the last few videos how difficult it was to get her to accept the bit. So I just want to show you an update. So you go, I'm just holding on top of her head and you see no freak out whatsoever with accepting the bit. And then when I put it on, I hold the noseband as well so there's no issue, and then drop it gently. You see she's totally relaxed. So it's definitely, if you have a horse that's difficult to bridle, I'd definitely consider this method one that's worth pursuing. See, we just do the throat lash up, do the noseband up, and you see she's totally relaxed. So I think, although it can look very traumatic to start with, it's definitely worth pursuing and persevering with. So I'm going to go to the main video. So again, we start with the bridle. She's completely loose. Obviously, many people tie up their horses so they don't walk off. You can if you want to, but for me it's not something that I feel necessary with her. So again, we stand, give her a chance to accept the bit, let her do it, slowly put one ear through and then the other one. Try to be as gentle as you can with her ears because it's quite sensitive. Then pull out the forelock so that it's more comfortable, and then I slip the noseband through so it's underneath the cheek pieces, and then I do the throat lash up. And remember, the way to make sure it's not too tight is that you can fit 4 fingers in between their cheekbone and the throat lash. So there you can see I'm just wiggling her ears about because especially in the winter she has quite a lot of fur around there. So I just wiggle her ears to make sure that there's nothing trapped and it's not uncomfortable for her. So then it's time to put the saddle on, and again it's a good idea if you tie up your horse, but because of how she's reacted in the past I don't like to do that. I'd rather leave her loose. You can see she knows what she needs to do. I show her the saddle to start with so that she knows what's coming, and then she'll stand still and I'll gently put the saddle on. You can see I'm not great with a number, but it's a heavy saddle. So then I just pull it out, make sure it's comfortable, and then if that happens to you, as you can see I just slide my hand underneath to flatten her fur in the right direction to make sure it's comfortable for her. Make sure it's okay on both sides. Now when you're putting the saddle on, if you can, try to put it a bit higher up there with us and slide it down until it stops moving, and then that's usually the right place. So it's time for the girth, and again I'll show it to her, not that she was particularly interested this day. So that's something I'll let her know that's happening. I'll attach it to the right side first, because then you'll be tying it up on the left side. So now she has a tendency to flinch quite a lot with the girth area, so before I actually put the girth on, and then as I'm doing it, I'll just stroke her in that girth area, and then that will kind of get her a little bit desensitized to it so that when I actually put the girth up she's not shocked that something's touched her there. A lot of horses are ticklish with it, so again if your horse can be a little bit nervous, just try and gently stroke them there first. See, that's where you tie your horse up because they tend to walk off. So I kind of, if that happens again, don't just accept your horse standing still as being submissive. Try and reposition them. So for me, I moved her backwards to say, no, this is where I want you to stand. So then I tighten the girth up again, both sides. I do it bit by bit, each side, so that it's not just suddenly like, whoa, your belt's at its tightest hole. And you can see she's not really, she hasn't got a problem with it. So that's the best way, keep repeating that. Thanks for watching.